Hey, what's up guys? It's your boy JJ Views. They're back again with another video. If you like this video, please subscribe and comment. Anyway, today I'm going to be reviewing three more of my favorite albums that I listened, and one of them I actually listened yesterday, and one of them I think I yeah, sorry guys, got a little bit sidetracked there, off sidetracked there a little bit. But anyway, I actually finished listening to one of them in this pack tonight. So I'm going to be reviewing three of my 50s rock and roll albums that I truly love. There are others, but I think these deserve to be in the top three. So yeah, and basically two are rhythm and blues and boogie woogie, and one is country and gospel and basically blues. I'm just drinking a little bit of sweet tea because I love my sweet. Anyway, let's start off with Chuck Berry, his golden hits. So when Chuck got out of prison, I'd say, I don't know, probably 1961 or 60, because he went into prison for, oh man, what was it? I forgot what it was. Hold on, guys. Give me a minute. What was it? Oh yeah, crossing an overage girl over state line, and this was probably in '58, I believe. And Chuck served 2 years in prison. He had a little bit of trouble with the law back in the day, like in the '40s. He was in prison, and he got out on his 21st birthday. So yeah, Chuck was a gang member, but he is the father of rock and roll music. And this was released in 1967. But he also released a album called what's it called? You can never tell. And he wrote some new songs on that album. So it's a good album. I listened to it on not Spotify, but not Bluetooth. What is it? Whatever. But it's on an app, music app that I really listen to a lot on a lot of music, and I love it. So it's just basically his hits from the '50s: "Sweet Little 16," "Memphis," "School Days," "Maybelline," "Back in the USA," "Johnny B. Good." Some of you might have heard of that. "Rock and Roll Music," "Roll Over Beethoven," "30 Days," "Carol," "Club 90 Gary." I don't know if that actually is Gary, but yeah, I love this album. And Chuck re-records all of his songs from the '50s. He re-records them. I love what he did with Memphis, because uh, basically what Chuck does. I'm trying to remember what he did like the first time that he recorded Memphis. He does doom 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 doom. He does that for the intro, but when he records that in '67, he does dun 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 dun. I love that version. I think that version's better than the 1950, probably 55 or 56 version, but I always loved Chuck's songs. Probably like his second version, I don't know, but yeah. Number three, Chuck Berry, the godfather of rock and roll. Number two, Fats Domino. And you probably heard him sing Blueberry Hill. If you ever listened to the radio, probably the '60s or '50s radio, rock radio stations, you probably heard of Blueberry Hill. Now, Louis Armstrong actually wrote that song, but Fats is the one that made it popular back in the 1950s. I think it was '56. Yeah, '56. So in 1956, he recorded that, and it became his standard song. So yeah. And basically, these are just songs that he recorded, like "Won't You Come On Back," "One Night." I like that song. I like his version. "Good Hearted Woman," "Going Home," "What a Party," "Before I Grow Too Old," "Ain't Gonna Do It," "I Just Cry," "Tell Me That You Love Me," "I've Been Calling." So this is a very good album, but it doesn't show the date. I don't know when this was released. Probably in the 50s, I believe, or 60s. I would just say 1960s. So I love Fats. I love the way that he plays the boogie woogie piano. It's just great. Um, Sadly, we lost uh, Fats and Chuck in 2017, but the music lives on forever and ever in our hearts. So yeah, Fats number 2, and number 1, the one and only Buddy Holly. Buddy Holly was the first rock and roller to write, produce his own music. He didn't let anyone else tell him what he can do. He knew what he wanted to do with his music. He knew where he wanted to go with his music. And this man was just a genius. Buddy, even in death, is still popular to this day. If you go on YouTube, like, so is like Fats and Chuck, but Buddy is, in my opinion, the king. But sometimes I will think Chuck or Fats or Bo Diddley or Muddy Waters is the king of rock and roll. Because basically, they started that genre. Because if you're wondering, Jade, what do you mean? Well, if you ever listened to Alan Freed, which you probably didn't because basically you're probably a kid like me, but Alan Freed was a DJ. He played rhythm and blues, and he came up with a phrase, rock and roll, to hide rhythm and blues. So we called this new style rock and roll. And that's what it was. So basically, what Little Richard said, he said, rock and roll is up-tempo. So basically, with blues music is up-tempo, and blues music slowed down is blues. But blues up-tempo is boogie-woogie. So basically, if you just, I don't got a guitar right now, but let's just say if you're just doing this slow, like dun 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 dun, that's the blues. But if you do dun 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 dun, that's rock and roll. So yeah, Chuck really actually paved the way for that. But we're talking about Buddy right now. But Buddy was a really amazing influence on everybody, to the Beatles, to the Stones, to the Beach Boys, to everybody that you can think of. Sadly, he perished in a plane crash on February 3rd, 1959, and that day is known as the day the music died. And a lot of people thought on that particular day that rock and roll ended because Buddy Holly and Richie Valens, best known as for La Bamba or Donna, and the Big Bopper, known for Chantilly Lace, was gone. Like, they were gone. They already passed on. And, yep. But their music is still alive after this time. Since 1959. Since that fateful day. So, yeah. It has songs on here like Bo Diddley, Ray Vaughan, Tell Me How, Peggy Sue Got Married, Slipping and Sliding, Little Richard cover, Oh Boy, Don't Fade Away, Peggy Sue, Brown Eyed Handsome Man, Crying, Waiting, Hoping, and a few others. But this is a collection, 2-album record set collection, and I love this. I love Buddy Holly. He's my favorite 50s rock and roll artist, and he's the one that inspired me to actually write. He's one other artist, but I have a lot that really influenced me. Chuck influenced me, but Buddy influenced me a lot. Hank Sr. influenced me. Willie Nelson, Johnny Cash, Merle Haggard, just any poet that you can think of, I listen to. Well, I haven't listened to, but Chuck and Buddy and Hank and Chris is actually the reason that I'm writing, because I like to write. So if I have nothing to do, I'm just going to try to write something. Just try to write something. So yeah. And guys, before I close this, do not drink a lot of sweet tea, because right now I can feel something right here. on my arm. It's a little bit of a pain, so I'm guessing because I've been drinking too much sweet tea when I got home. Yeah, so better stop doing that. I hope you guys enjoy this video. If you like this video, please comment, subscribe, and like, and hope you guys have a nice day, and peace, guys.